Hey everyone, welcome back to my mess. So in this video, I had just done the last cloud pour. This is Turquoise Blue by Amsterdam. And I was going to use up some paint and do a cloud pour over a set of coasters and then break them apart so they'd be all, matchy or part of the same pour. And then when I started pouring it, I was like, what the heck, this isn't going to work. And so what you see on these coasters, so my spinner is underneath these 4 coasters, and I have put my flow extender, which is my like dump cup paint, down. And I'm using a small split cup that my husband gave me because of the size of these. So that's Turquoise Blue from Amsterdam. So I'm going to use that as one of my colors. I'm going to use my Cloud Mix, which is the one I used for my paintings. So that's going to be the Vallejo Pearl Medium and Amsterdam Titanium White with 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part of each of those. And this is Colourarte Quinacridone Magenta. My colors are mixed with Floetrol. So basically this is my mix for cloud straight pours. So I'm sorry that you can't see what I'm doing. I thought I was in frame, but apparently I'm not. So this is a 4-chamber split cup. So I'm using those 2 colors, my cloud mix, and I think dioxazine purple. Oh, no. Prussian blue. I believe Prussian blue from Soho. And so you'll see in a minute that I start pouring them and then I'm like, what the heck? What am I thinking? This isn't going to work. Like, it doesn't matter if I tilt or spin, it's going to look like crap. And so I decided to smush them. And then they turned out super cute. And I've since resined them and they'll be in my Etsy store soon. But I'm glad I didn't just waste all that paint. So what you can't see is I'm filling up my split cup. So this is a fun way to use up paint. It's also fun if you're a beginner and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. The paint will react, especially if you're using different brands. The paint will react to other brands and give you cool reactions. So in this case, I'm actually using 3 different brands. And then, of course, we've got the Floetrol and we've got our little cloud mix. So this is the Prussian blue. That was my dog yawning. The Prussian blue is from Soho. So Soho paints I get from Jerry's Artarama online, Amsterdam, and like the Vallejo Pearl Medium I get from Blick. I do have a link for Blick in the description box. And then, of course, Colourarte I get from Colourarte.com, and there is a 20% discount code using Mandy1120. So see how I tried to start? I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Like, I didn't even pour in the center because in my mind I was like, if I pour in the center, it's all just going to go off on the sides. So I guess the only way that my idea of like doing like one big cloud coaster thing is, for one, you use a lot of paint and either just be okay with losing a bunch of it or do like a traveling straight pour. But then I start doing this and I'm like, what the heck? This is going to be worthless. And then I'm like, well, I've already got this paint on here. It works with resin. Maybe it'll work with acrylic if I just smush them. So then I just kind of keep going. And and then you'll see. But they actually work out really nicely. My flow extender does end up showing. But it's kind of like an iris periwinkle lilac color. And it kind of goes. So it works. Anyway. So since then, I was like, okay, let me go find all these random paints. Like, you know how like you buy like variety packs of acrylic paints? Then, well, my husband had bought me some and I had like these tiny little tubes of paint for like a couple of years now. Sorry if you can hear my dog. And so I went and mixed them up with Floetrol and I was like, I'm going to do this whole smush thing with all of my bogus cloud mixes, like the ones that I mixed up when I couldn't get the pearl medium. And then that way I don't leave all of that paint to sit there and dry out. So I'm just kind of moving those weird ribbons a little bit further back in that negative space. And then we're going to smush them. And it'll be fun. Right now they look like a disaster, but don't give up on me yet. So the first two, we're going to tilt those ribbons back. And the color combo actually turns out to be really pretty. So then I decided before I smushed them, I should go ahead and move the ribbons around. Thankfully, because I had that flow extender on, there's plenty of paint on these. And, you know, when I was first paint pouring, I would have been good with them just like that. But anyway, you'll see some future videos where I was playing around with them, the various colors, and I smushed them together. Because I also still have a bunch of these coasters from Home Depot, which are not the ones I use for blooms. So it's kind of uses the coasters, and it uses up some paint and some bogus cloud mix. So here is the high level skill of smushing. That's what I like about this, is you don't have to be like an advanced acrylic pouring person. You can just smushy things. And I like to kind of tilt or twist as I lift up so that, you know, we get a chance of moving it around a little bit. So now I'm going to torch them. And you can tell, like, these are not necessarily works of art, but they're pretty. And under resin, they look very nice. And when we torch them, we're going to get a little bit of cell reaction. So, you know, better than wasting that paint. And so I have since done, let's see, with a different cloud mix, I've since done like 4 sets using up some paint. And they were all pretty nice when I made them. Like 1 or 2 dried a little bit messy, but I think they're still nice enough where if I resin them, they'll be nice to throw into my Etsy store. Coasters tend to sell pretty well, especially like bloom coasters, but like at craft shows and stuff, people always like coasters. So I may keep doing this or do some with some flip cups, kind of like my very early on beginner paint pouring days. But to me, that's better than wasting that paint or wasting those cloud mixes that I had, because I mean, I must have mixed like, I don't know, 3 or 4 different types of cloud mixes before I got the Vallejo pouring medium. I made a batch of cloud mix before I realized I had the wrong Artist Loft paint. So, you know, it's still white paint and it's useful. So I don't want to waste it. So I don't want to let it sit over there and dry up, but I also just don't want to sit there with tons of paint cups sitting around waiting to be used, because that's half the battle, is I don't have space for all that. So I have a couple places on the edges that I kind of need the paint to move. So I decided to give it a spin. And now it's hard to see, but I think I'm going to show you these, at least a couple of them close up. But we got some nice cells in some of these areas where I torched them. And of all of the ones that I've smushed so far, I think that these are my favorite. It may help that I was actually using the right cloud mix for this. So, you know, it reacted nicely with the paint. Didn't really cloud, but yeah, let me show you, and you have to let me know what you think. And I'll probably sprinkle those other random videos in here and there. I haven't really had any time to paint, so please forgive my lack of creativity that you might see over the next few weeks. I've also been meaning to go live on Wednesday nights, and right now I'm kind of up against a deadline for some comp work for school. So even though I'm tempted to go live anyway, because I want to, I've kind of had to stay really focused. So yeah, I must be cleaning the drips off of the bottom so I can show it to you without dripping on those others. The other thing is, I recently got an X Tool laser cutter engraver an S1, and I'm very excited. I did a video setting it up, and you'll be able to see that. I realize that's a little outside of the box for this channel, and I thought about creating a separate channel for the laser, but I'm not going to do that because I do think there will be some overlap for artists who, you know, want to learn new things. So as I figure it out, I'm going to share it with you guys. So here's one up close for fun. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. Bye.